Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. In today's story, we've got a lesson in patience, math, and reading. Yes, reading, right off the screen in front of you. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with a turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. I said 425. She heard Financial Armageddon. I'd been cashiering for about a month when a lady came in with a return. While I might not have known how to put in special discounts into the machine, I knew how to do returns because it was very simple. The lady said she wanted to buy some things, so I offered to hold her return items at the counter. She happily agrees and goes off to shop. She comes back with some items, and I inform her that I can do a return and purchase in the same transaction, which will save her time because otherwise she'd have to input her rewards information into the machine twice, once for the return and once for the purchase. Again, she happily agrees. So far, so good. It was Christmas time, so she was returning a bunch of Christmas decorations. She had like 15 ribbons, a couple baskets, wrapping paper rolls, bows, and ornaments. It's taking me a bit of time to scan everything because our managers require we scan each individual item, even if it's the same item. As I'm scanning her item, she's getting increasingly more impatient. She starts shifting her feet, tapping her nails on the counter, and clicking her teeth. By the time I'm done scanning her return and purchase, which took maybe 5 minutes, she's on full scowling. Now I can see each item on my screen, and customers have their own screen where they can see me ringing up their items, and it displays what their total is, along with what the tax they're paying is. I inform her that the remainder she owes is $425. She started to get red in the face and asked me very aggressively, how could it be she owes that much? Her tone and shift in attitude surprised me because when she first came into the store, she was so happy. So I looked at her maybe 40 items on the screen and didn't even know where to begin to explain things. Some people come in line and get very confused about taxes, so I wasn't sure what exactly she was confused about, especially since she could see the receipt and whole transaction on her side. I admit I probably looked flabbergasted for a few seconds, and this was enough for her to snap at me. Never mind, cancel it all, ring up my return and purchase separately. She was clearly mad at me, so I just did what she asked. Hey, I'm getting paid by the hour, so whatever the amount she owes will still come out the same. While I cancel the order and rescan everything, she's mumbling, I can't believe this, ridiculous service, stealing my money. I ignore her, and when I finish her return, we owed her $60.50. She smirks and says, that's more like it. After the refund, I ring up her purchase, and it comes to $64.75. She stared at the screen, confused, before asking if that was right. I said, yeah. I mean, she can see everything I ring up, and the machine adds everything up, including tax, which again, she can also see on her screen. Her confusion turns to anger, and she nearly shouted, but you told me I owed $425. That's when everything made sense to me. I replied, no, I did not. I said you owed $425, as in $4.25. She takes a minute to look at the screen, and she just went, oh. She looked a bit embarrassed, apologized with I'm so sorry, I misunderstood. I said, it's okay. Honestly, I was surprised she apologized at all, but I was pissed as to how she went about her confusion, especially because she could see everything on her own screen. Even though I said $425, the literal number, $4.25, was displayed as her total. All she had to do was look at the screen to see what I meant. As I handed her the receipt and item, she apologized for the confusion a few more times, and I just replied with, okay, each time. She scurried off with her items pretty fast when I was done with her transaction, and hopefully she felt a bit humbled. Edit. To clear up some confusion, she had her own screen that was facing her. It was large, basically a touchscreen monitor, about 1 foot by 1 foot, that's on a rotating stand so that customers position the screen to their liking. They use that screen to input their rewards information, which for some people takes a very long time, usually older people. She had to enter her rewards information before I started scanning, so she was very well informed of its existence. The screen displays digits. For example, ribbon, purchase $5. Box, return, -$1. Tax, 50 cents. Total, $4.50. I definitely see where the confusion happened, and in hindsight, I should have said $4.25. But when you're in a rush and have customers lying down halfway through the aisle, you learn some things to pick up the speed of transactions. There wasn't a huge line at the time. It was something that slipped from my mouth. I assumed that she had looked at the large monitor literally in front of her, and there she would see total $4.25. I'm picturing her in my head when it finally became clear what you meant, as blinking rapidly a few times, pausing, then doing quite possibly the most epic facepalm in all of history. It's amazing how many people seem to get even more stubborn when they're corrected or embarrassed. And our second story. Drop everything when you call? Got it. Back in March, my company furloughed a large amount of people, only keeping the bare minimum of essential people that I happened to be considered. One of the rudest and most obnoxious people there was thankfully furloughed, so over the last 5 months, things have been great. But 2 weeks ago, she came back and has been her usual horrible self. I work for a publishing company as an accountant. I rarely deal with any of the other employees that aren't the publishers, customers, or the other accountants. There's one sales representative, we'll call her Mary. 2 weeks ago, as Mary was beginning her work again, she had made a call to me stating that she needed her access to our servers again, and I told her I'd get it to her within the next hour, to which she replied, "I've been here 16 years. I run this company. It doesn't work without me here, so you'll do it, and you'll do it now." Well, we did just fine for almost 6 months without you, but who am I to argue with stupid people? She gets her access to the office drives first, scanners, printers, nothing special, and decides it's her turn to send an email to the owner of the company saying that I was disrespectful and wouldn't do anything for her, so he needed to put me in my place. Sure enough, Mary got her wish, and I was told to drop everything I was doing to do what she needs no matter what I've got going on. We're still working from home, but as one of the accountants, I have access to our office building and get asked to take care of some stupid things such as mailing our prints to the printing company, and yesterday, Mary was there. I go around and pick up all the pages to be printed, put them in order, and get them ready to package, and Mary comes along screaming how I didn't call a customer she demanded I call, an email I hadn't even seen because I was collecting prints. The owner of the company, being in his office, hears her screaming and decides to share that he did inform me to drop whatever I was doing to help her catch up on her daily activities. Me, already annoyed with him, asks, "You're sure you want me to drop what I'm doing and call her customer right now?" And with the nod and turn to go back to his office, I drop the official prints on the ground and they scatter across the floor, bending and crumpling the papers. Makes the printers angry when they're not perfect, and walk away to the phone. Mary screams and yells at the owner, who turns around and laughs and says he didn't mean literally, but since I was doing what Mary was supposed to be doing, she could stay and fix my mess. She ended up staying 5 hours past our regular closing time, reprinting and redoing the magazine order to get out in time for publishing. The accounting team was so proud someone finally did something, and she refuses to talk to any of us anymore. Thankfully, best news ever. Well done, OP. You gave her exactly what she wanted and followed orders to the letter. And the best part is, you didn't even have to be petty. Just literal. When someone insists on control and throws weight around without actually doing anything useful, they deserve a taste of what that really costs. And our last story. It's a story about my friend Victor and the HOA. Victor, a former big city IT guy, decided to swap the soundtrack of honking horns for chirping crickets. He bought a neat little house perched on the spine of an unnamed American hillside, the sort of place where a GPS address just says, "around here somewhere." Only one reliable road wound downhill, punching straight through the Pine Haven Homeowners Association, HOA, below. The backup route was a rutted dirt track that turned into a slip and slide whenever it rained. Victor didn't sweat it. His uphill neighbors were pure gold. Retirees Gene and Bernie fed salt-free nuts to squirrels. Ex-firefighter Ray could teach any kid to tie a rescue knot. And the Masons, with their toddler twins, looked like a diaper commercial family. Down in civilization ruled Karen, the HOA president and self-proclaimed defender of tranquility. Her favorite hobby? Blasting Times New Roman 14-point emails explaining that motor vehicles exceeding the weight of a lawn flamingo create unacceptable noise, dust, and atmospheric moisture. Early September, while the leaves were still green, Karen announced that folks up the hill were banned from using the HOA road. Pickup trucks, she said, roar and shed dirt like feral beasts and stressed out her hydrangeas. Victor politely replied, "But the road's public." The retirees tucked home-baked cookies into their response, the passive-aggressive, bless your heart of baked goods. Karen skipped debate and ordered an October gate with a key padlock. Her victory was short-lived. The county sheriff rolled up, raised an eyebrow, and reminded her the road had been on the county map since 1961. The gate came down faster than Bernie could post a sad emoji on Facebook. That night, Victor joked with Ray. Karen must have a black belt in bureaucracy. Ray laughed, but warned that people who love rules more than cats can do anything. Victor took it as a metaphor. Big mistake. 2 weeks later, 2:40 a.m., a security camera belonging to Linda, the sailor's wife who treated surveillance like primetime TV, caught two teens in black hoodies. A flashlight glinted off a handful of caltrops as they sprinkled the road like lethal confetti. The video even showed their grinning faces, Trev and Zach, local high school linebackers posing as if for a poster. Crime, just do it. Then they strolled uphill right toward the lens as if GPS had whispered, "Smile, you're in 4K." At 7:15 a.m., Ray headed out in his veteran pickup to volunteer at the fire academy. Two front Goodyears hissed, blew, and dropped him in a ditch. Ray, being Ray, escaped with a bruised knee and a string of muttered curses that evaporated in the morning fog. Turbo mode engaged, Linda handed the flash drive to deputies. Deputies forwarded it to the DA. The DA summoned a grand jury. Trevor panicked at the sight of the station coffee machine and confessed instantly. $100 cash and a print screen from Google Maps. Karen even drew a red circle. Scatter here. Karen, Zach tried, no comment, but folded when offered a frosted donut. Sugar, the teenage Achilles heel. Court day, Karen showed up in a lavender pantsuit, screaming totally innocent. Her lawyer tried the gated community equals private property angle. The sheriff calmly displayed a registry record labeling the road public right-of-way. Slide 2, footage of Karen at a gas station handing Trevor an envelope marked HOA maintenance, then showing him the Google map on her phone. The gallery let out a collective ooh, like a ball heading foul at a baseball game. Then came the twist. Linda's ordinary camera, upgraded by her sailor husband with ship-grade stabilizers, recorded in stunning 8K with audio. The court heard Karen's cheerful whisper, "Sprinkle before sunrise so those pickup folks tap dance on flats." Jurors stared at the defendant. One even snorted with laughter. Dominoes meet bulldozer. Guilty on all counts. When the judge pronounced 10 years eligible for parole after 6, Karen's face crumpled like someone canceled her spa membership. The icing? The sheriff announced the seized caltrops would train rookies in road hazard removal. Looks like Karen did improve public safety after all, he quipped, sparking fresh chuckles. Victor and company threw a backyard party. Jean and Bernie baked a Spikes a la Mort pie. Ray grilled burgers and ceremonially speared them. Karma for punctured tires. And the Mason twins scattered plastic ninja stars across the lawn for a safe-rated Hollywood vibe. Linda set up a projector and everyone watched the Miss HOA 2025 Behind Bars edition clip for the third time. As dusk hugged the hill, Victor raised a cider. Here's to justice. It may pop a tire or two, but it always reaches the finish line. From crickets to camera pixels, the evening hillside chimed a quiet, unanimous cheers. Revenge, 100% success. The road stayed open, the tire stayed whole, and the loudest voice in Pine Haven now echoed only in the prison cafeteria, where nobody minded a little noise. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.